I went ahead and hit the button. We're about 30 minutes early. Yeah. Steve says the open mic is a bit weird this morning. Steve, elaborate on that if you can, and I'll see if I can fix it.
In the meantime, let's push buttons.
Let's do this. And good morning.
Man, I have the benefit of watching some of the shows when you don't let the music cue like fade all the way out. Like it's morning. That's what I hear when I watch it on my phone. Just, I happen to see you do it live, so it is. I meant to tell you off air. My bad. I'm actually kind of ashamed now because obvious reasons. Good morning. It's Friday. You want to just wash all that away and talk about some guns. Speaking of wash away, Pit Danny says, thank God for the rain to wash the pollen away. See, the problem with that, sir, is whenever the rain washes away a pollen count in the hundreds, it comes back in the thousands.
Here we go.
So now it needs to rain every day, just enough. Because if it doesn't rain enough, then you get that, like... Man, you know, and that's a thing that happens down south where it'll rain for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Just enough to piss you off and make you feel like you can't breathe. Like, whoo.
Yeah.
So good morning to GCM. And then
First Blood.
Yeah, good morning.
Happy Firearms Friday.
Yep. Good morning to the Fit Life with Danielle. And then, again, Steve, much scratching, taking of glass, heavy breathing.
That's just good old BFM ASMR, baby.
Ew. I don't want BFM ASMR. No, stop. We know where the heavy breathing's probably coming from, though. Sean Stryker, good morning. And then there's another Steve, good morning. See, Steve agrees with me. Ew. See?
And there's somebody watching on Rumble, but I haven't got a comment from him yet, so I don't know who it is. But hey, good morning.
Good
morning.
Yeah, good morning. In Deedly Doodly.
Y'all go ahead and hit the like button. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Because
smash the like button.
Smash. You want to handle this first one? Hey, Jen, good morning.
Sure. Let's do that. Okay. Allons-y. Dunning resident shoots suspected home burglar. So far, so good. Thanks. Dunning homeowner shot a suspected burglar in his left forearm at about 1:20 Sunday, March 5th, inside the owner's house in the 3600 block of North Newcastle Avenue, according to 16th Jefferson Park District Police. The resident reported that he was awakened by his dog barking and that he called out his son's name, and when no one responded, he retrieved his gun and went to search his home, according to police. He also told police that when he went to check the basement, his dog ran in front of him and made a distressing sound, and that he then saw a man in the basement holding a dark object, police said. He told officers that he instructed the man not to move and fired one shot after the man allegedly began moving forward toward him, police said.
That sounds pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, it's like clean shoot could pass a health inspection.
Right.
So clean. Okay. You got a verbal warning. Yeah. Because let me tell you, you're not likely to get a verbal warning in this house.
No.
Just the odds of that are, well, let's say low. The basement lights reportedly were off during the interaction, police said. The man, who was transported in serious condition to Lutheran General Hospital, reportedly told officers that she told me the side door would be open, police said. There were no signs of forced entry on the home's side door, and it may have been left unlocked, police said. The suspect, who was later identified by police as Jeremy Tyler
Polfier?
I guess. Age 27, 3600 block of Esquire Lane, Georgia, was charged with residential burglary. Where's this out of?
It just says Dunning.
Anyhow.
And the source is Natting's newspaper.
Yeah, the homeowner has an Illinois firearms owner identification card.
Oh, there we go. Illinois.
Wow. That's spooky.
The incident marks the second time this year in the 16th district that a resident shot a suspected home intruder. The other occurred on Monday, January 30th, when an 80-year-old man shot the intruder in his chest.
The number of reported burglaries in the 16th district is up 54% this year when compared to the same period last year, from 54 to 83. Not if home intruders keep getting shot. Though this story is weird, okay? Esquire Lane, Georgia. You're going to drive all the way to a residence in... Okay, I'm just going to say it. Like, hey, baby, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and lay down. But there's a side door by the garage. I'm going to just leave it up. You just slide right in. Like, that's the vibe I get from this. Because if there's no forced entry to the door...
Yeah, I got some weirdness here. You're right. Because it says, where was it? The suspect, she told me the side door would be open. Who?
Yeah, and Steve...
The woman who shot you?
I mean, maybe? I don't know. I mean, but that's what that sounds like. That sounds like
Yeah, this needs context.
This needs serious... I would not be surprised... Now, look. On the face of it,
this does not tell me that she told me the side door would be locked.
Right.
Equals I'm in the right house.
Right. Okay, I would not be surprised to see the burglary charges get dropped, or downgraded, or whatever. I'm still calling this a clean shoot. Dark basement, crying dog, don't move, and you move.
Yeah.
Like that's
clean.
That is squeaky, right? But an unlocked door, I mean that's weird. Meanwhile,
unless
the neighbors,
unless it turns out that the homeowner is the person who told him to enter through the unlocked side door. And then it gets squirrely.
Well, then it's attempted murder.
Yeah.
Woo!
No, you can hunt them. but you can't bait them.
Actually, in South Georgia, you can. It's kind of weird.
Cade, holy shit! Good morning, sunshine. How have you been?
Yeah, role-playing gone wrong. You know, though, what's funny is there's probably, like, a neighbor. It's just, like, laying there, like, deliberately went to bed with no panties on.
Cade. What's the safe word? What's the safe word?
Like, I really thought he liked me. Why didn't he ever show up? My husband was gone all night and this bastard.
Oh, you hurt me. You hurt me. Okay.
All right, next.
Oh shit, we got one out of Las Vegas. This is going to be fun. Some homeowners are concerned over the safety after a suspected burglar was shot and killed in Henderson.
Why?
Oh.
There's one less burglar.
Exactly. You just got safer, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. It's like a cookie. It's a good thing. They told 8 News Now this wasn't the first time a burglary happened on their street. No shit.
Well,
the attempted theft happened near Sun City Anthem Drive and Volunteer Boulevard on the 1700 block of Sebring Hills Drive. Several homeowners declined to speak on the record, fearing they'd be the next target of a burglary. Henderson police said on Thursday...
What kind of stupid bullshit logic
declined
is that?
to speak on the record, fearing they'd be the next target of a burglary.
Okay. Let's.
Pro tip. There's been a crime in your neighborhood. The press asks you for a comment. You don't lead with, my name is X and I live at 123 Any Street, USA.
I have $8,000 worth of jewelry just beside my sock drawer.
It's on the left-hand side of the bed if you're facing the wall. Right in front of the large screen television. That house. Yeah.
Oh, and a brand new laptop that'll be charging by the bedside.
Freighter can be
The
targeted.
password is password. Anyhow, let's keep going, because this is weird.
Henderson police said on Thursday, March 2nd, at around 2 a.m., a man stopped to check on his deceased father's home and found a burglar inside. The 61-year-old shot and killed the intruder, police said. The Clark County Coroner's Office identified the suspect as 38-year-old Dylan Gall. He had some gall. He was apparently shot in the guest bedroom and died in the kitchen. That gets one.
Okay.
He didn't make it on the meat wagon.
Right.
Henderson police said the son won't face charges. Good.
Okay.
Records show the 93-year-old homeowner died on February 14th. Neighbors said that the same home had been burglarized the day before the shooting. Jonathan, I wonder if this is something like they had estate sale signs advertising to do an estate sale.
I mean, there is a certain mindset that says that's a target-rich environment.
Look, that's a house that has stuff in it and not people.
Right.
That's what that sign says to a certain.
You know how it is.
If it's sort of person.
If it's old, it's worth money. You steal it.
You steal it.
That's not what we do. We steal cars.
Jonathan Alvarez with Crime Stoppers of Nevada said homeowners need to be proactive in protecting themselves.
Good.
Yes, gird thyself against the ravages of the world, good people. We always support having an alarm system with some sort of response.
Sure.
That could notify you on your phone if there's any intrusion.
Why? I've got an 80-pound Doberman.
That's what I need.
An 80-pound Doberman?
No. A revolver with Bluetooth that counts hits. Give me your money. New achievement. He also recommends making sure windows are locked, keeping the area around your home well lit, and knowing your neighbors. No shit.
Yeah, all that's obvious, but let's make it clear.
Is to make it as difficult as possible for criminals to get inside, and sometimes people overlook some of the smallest aspects, so much so as, good God, as looking at a front door or locking a garage door. Gall was serving times for drugs, forgery, grand larceny, child abuse, and possession of other people's credit cards.
And he was out on parole. So you have a parolee that is, well, let's see. Okay, serving time for drugs, forgery, grand larceny, and possession of other people's credit cards. So in other words, he was back on the drugs, and he was back on the being on the drugs activity.
Sounds like we got a bad guy that got what he needed.
Well, I mean, you reach a certain point where when your drug habit, because you could take all of those charges, you could roll them together and say, look, it's the drugs. And I think that would be a fair assessment. When your drug habit is so bad, your rap sheet is this big, and you spend time in prison, it's time to admit you have a problem.
Yes.
Okay, you're not doing meth. Meth is doing you. Let's be crystal clear on this point. And then
meth has stuck his hand up your ass and is saying your lines.
Right. So, and then here's the thing. The goal is to make it as difficult as possible for criminals in the smallest aspects. I read that and was like, yeah, bet the size of 9mm is all you need to. That's pretty small.
In Soviet Russia, meth does you.
So honestly, there's probably an element of tragedy to this story, and yet, how do you make it hard for criminals to burglarize things?
You shoot them.
You shoot them.
Yes.
At the very least, even if they survive and don't get charged and spend a week in the hospital, for a whole week, they're not criminalizing shit.
Well, let me tell you something about criminals, right? Criminality.
Oh, yes.
Is not unrelated to the social contagion of transgenderism that we talked about yesterday. One of the things that makes the commission of crime attractive to the people who commit crimes is the high number of people who get away with committing the crimes. The more people die horribly as a result of attempting to commit crimes, the less attractive that particular activity will be to the sort of people who commit crimes. Like we were talking about the Larry Correia book the other day, and one of the ways that he phrases it is he says, my dad told me that criminals are people who don't want to work. If you look like food, you will get eaten. But as soon as you draw a pistol, you look like work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, predators don't tend to hunt other predators, except Correct. In the ocean. But
right.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
Here we go.
Oh dear. That's a headline. Sheriff, naked woman shot after attacking homeowner with frying pan.
Tell me this is out of Florida.
I don't know, but that's messed up.
Yes. Paula Michelle Locklear. And let's scroll back up. Oh, yeah, Virginia. Scroll back. Dude, there's still guys that would do it.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's guys that would be like, actually, that's right up my alley. Just keep her away from the kitchen. Anyhow, okay, let's...
She appears to have been kept away from the kitchen.
Right.
Somebody get this poor child a sandwich.
Authorities in Virginia said a homeowner shot a naked woman who broke into his home and attacked him with a frying pan.
I'm looking for the drugs. I'm already looking for the drugs.
Oh, God.
Mugshotty.
I've never heard that phrase before. It has now been permanently added to my lexicon. Makes perfect sense. Carroll County Sheriff's Office said the incident happened on February 26 before deputies received a report on a shooting at 2655 Loafers Rest Road in Austensville, Boy, those were words.
That sounds like exactly the place that you want to open a flop house. Loafer's Restaurant.
Yeah. Deputies arrived and found a woman shot in the leg. First responders treated and transported her to a local hospital. Investigators said the homeowner heard a noise coming from the back of his home. When he checked it out, he found an unknown naked woman who was coming through the door. She then began hitting the homeowner with a cast iron flying
pan. It says, what?
That's fried rice, you click.
Frying pan. Where'd it go? There it is. It says flying pan.
Oh. I was in charge of the supplies.
Supplies.
You make fun of accent. That's not funny. That racist.
That's super racist.
Oh. Boy, can you picture being like
a cast iron frying pan? You ever hit somebody with a frying pan? They're heavy. Cast iron pan? They're heavy. You got to work to get that sumbitch in the air.
Oh. Oh,
the homeowner was able to get the woman out of the house before securing his home. Apparently, however, the woman went to the back porch and began turning off the electrical breakers and began beating on the kitchen window while yelling at the homeowner to get out of her house, threatening to kill him. Okay, yep, drugs. Where are the drugs? Moments later, the homeowner grabbed his gun and shot the woman in the lower leg area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'd already been hit with a frying pan. Authorities have identified the suspect as 35-year-old Paula Michelle Locklear. She was released from the hospital and charged with felony breaking and entering, assault and battery, and damaging property. She's awaiting arraignment in Carroll County General District Court. Authorities said the homeowner will not be charged as the shooting was deemed self-defense.
You think?
No, you don't say. You know, can you picture, like, 14-year-old you, the one that was really ignorant of the world? Naked woman comes in through your back door, and you're like, yes! And then she starts beating you with a frying pan.
I'm confused. Everything about me is confused. I think my feet are hard.
I don't know which primal aggressive instinct to give into. Help.
Something's wrong.
And she's twitchy.
It's so wrong.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We could probably do one more.
We could do one more. Then I gotta go. Huh?
Yes, Kate.
Leland man acquitted of 2020 murder. Jury rules self-defense. Jury found 2020 shooting is justified self-defense. A Leland man arrested and charged with second-degree murder in 2020 has been acquitted. A Brunswick County jury delivered a not guilty verdict exonerating Ronald Lee Merrick from the August 2020 killing of 26-year-old Dondre Shaw. Leland police said in 2020 that Shaw and Merrick got into an argument leading to the shooting. After less than 2 hours of deliberation, the jury decided that Merrick, now 70 years old, justifiably killed Shaw in self-defense.
Well, okay. That was
okay, that was
what was
boring.
That? 4 sentences?
Something like that.
Well, hold on.
Oh, I already closed it.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't have to be. Normally, when the jury comes back quickly, you guilty.
Yeah.
Like that Jack, what's his face up in South Carolina? Like, dude, 6 weeks of trial. And, like, there's not just the murder charges. Guy's been charged with, like, 101 felonies from all this stuff, right? Jury's out for, like, half a day, and they come back, and they're like, no, you guilty. Double murder. Life in prison, right? If the jury comes back quickly and says, no, not guilty,
Yeah.
That means you should. The jury deliberated longer for Kyle Rittenhouse.
In that case, in a case like that, it's probably the case that he should not have been charged to begin with. Well, no, it's obviously the case that he should not have been charged to begin with, but that to even bring the prosecution was a mistake.
I've been bordering on malfeasance, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, and if we're talking about, and then demography now, what's the story? Was this youth trying to rob old Wyatt man? Maybe. Obviously, there was not a lot of details in that little blurb there.
There weren't a lot of details, and for the jury to come back that fast and say not guilty, it makes me wonder.
What's left out on purpose?
How many prosecutors were? How many prosecutors said, "I'm not going to take this case," and then were bullied into recusing themselves until they could find one to pull it?
I don't know why you would reference that at all.
Can't imagine. Felony, federal bullshit. Let's do one more.
Oakley dokley.
Oh, 5 minutes. One more, and then we do the safety brief. You want to read this one?
A man suffered several gunshot wounds in Fredericksburg on Sunday afternoon.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
The shooter told police that the man had attempted... I was trying to... Economy in motion.
Get it.
The shooter told police that the man had attempted to attack him with a knife. The gunshot... Uh-oh.
You failed me, patch.com.
The gunshot victim was in stable condition... Condition? Ooh, that was a flying pan. On Monday morning, according to the Fredericksburg Police Department, authorities have not provided any information about the victim or the shooter. As no criminal charges have been filed, maybe that's because the shooting occurred around 4 p.m. on Sunday on Ivanhoe Court. A man called 911 and reported that he shot an acquaintance outside the home. According to the police report, the caller noted that the acquaintance tried to attack him with a knife. When police officers arrived, they found one man suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. They provided first aid until EMS arrived and took the victim to a nearby hospital. Police officers have interviewed the shooter and witnesses, according to the police department. They also secured the man's firearm. Detectives are still investigating the shooting. Residents with more information can submit tips by... Okay. So, based on what we see here, okay, like, we're in Chris's basement. Chris and I know each other. You could say we're acquaintances. I'm pissed drunk.
I don't think I like the way you say that.
I'm pissed drunk. I'm banging on his door. I'm waving a knife around. And he says, buddy, I love you, but you need to fuck right off. I don't, in fact, fuck right off. He shoots me, calls 911, and says, hey, help.
Nowhere good, Cade. It's going nowhere good. It's going there quickly.
And he says, help. I am not the victim. Right? It's sad, it's unfortunate, it's many things. We can utterly humanize the situation, but I am not the victim. Okay? Like, oh God. All right, I'm just
Cade,
not looking at the chat
Cade,
anymore.
you're killing it. Dear Mr. Robinson, never don't watch this show again. Never, ever don't watch this show.
Oh, Lord. Him and HC would have got on like a house on fire.
Yes.
Anyhow, whew. I am not the victim in that scenario, okay? What happened was, I threatened Chris with a knife, and he responded appropriately. And here's the deal, okay? When the cops don't make charges on the spot, it's because the cops looked around and went, I don't know, this shit looks like self-defense to me.
Yeah, like for example, the Zimmerman case. The McMichael case.
One of many
the Rittenhouse case.
One of many cases, right? So the fact that who's the shitberg that wrote this thing? Well, whatever. Whoever wrote this
doesn't even say.
Yeah, whoever wrote this, you suck. I don't think you made this mistake in good faith. I think you deliberately wrote it a certain way because you have a mindset that you're projecting onto the gunshot victim was in stable condition. Really? I mean, the person who was gunshot is in stable condition, but victim, the shooter. Oh, the shooter. I just, God, I hate shit like this. I know you got stuff to do, but you know, safety brief and all that. And
all right, so it is the weekend.
I will fry bacon naked.
It's raining outside. Watch some tires. Thankfully, it ain't that cold, so I don't think the black ice is going to get us this time. I had some of that shit earlier this year. Some of that black ice stuff. And I mean, bad.
Yeah, you'll see Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, quick.
Are we changing the clocks this weekend?
Is that this weekend? I don't know, man. I've like, ever since I switched over to smartphones and it does it automatically. No, bro. Safety brief.
Or is it this weekend? Daylight savings.
Pit Danny says yes. That's good enough for me.
Yes, that's good enough. So yeah, your phones will fix it for you, and you'll get extra hour of sleep this Sunday.
Yes. If you cut a foot off the bottom of your blanket and sew it back to the top of your blanket, you now have a bigger blanket.
It sounds like your feet are still cold.
Anyhow,
ice of color. No, on this show, Cade, we say colored people because it's the same thing. And I'm tired of capitulating to.
Golly, your mom just took a shot at me. Where are you frying bacon? I'll stay away.
The pure sociopathy of grammatic manipulation has missed me with that shit. So, y'all be safe out there. We love you. Go thee girded against the ravages of the world, and we will see you on Monday.